most ideal. Yeah, no, that's not. Just add water. And benzene. Yeah, let's make sure that we do not forget the and benzene part. Benzene. Is it flare stacked? Or is it sinkholed? I'm gonna say flare stacked. Sinkhold. So they say. What is my power generation method? I have a couple of methods. It is sinkhold. Sunk. It is sunk. It's a thing with a fuel value. Therefore, it's sunk. Rather than flared and burned and all that. But it has a fuel value. Screw it. Screw it. So, question about how I generate power. I am generating it in 4 ways. The first way is I have a vanilla, just coal, up to 60 megawatts. It's just the one thing, just vanilla steam. The next way is over here, somewhere, all the way over here. This is tar into syngas, coal gas syngas, with oxygen. So we've got oxygen going into syngas, hydrogen going into combustion mixture, and all of the combustion mixture from the syngas going into power. This produces, I don't even know, 400 and something ish megawatts. Then we have this beautiful thing, this beautiful, not efficient in the slightest thing, that is burning fuel oil in oil burners. This is a gigawatt in total, 560 oil burners, taking up, that much space. This is a gigawatt. This is not efficient, not so much by space. I'm not referring to the space here. It is not efficient because it is not good to use fuel oil for this particular purpose. Because the fuel oil is coming from crude oil. It would be more efficient to convert crude oil to heavy oil through steam cracking, 1-to-1 crude oil to heavy oil. Yes, you lose a little bit through the cycle to get the steam for the steam cracking, obviously, but it is a lot better than the, 2-to-1 ratio crude oil to fuel oil through this process. So I could use significantly less crude oil if I actually converted it to heavy oil, which has or at least had the exact same fuel value of 800 kilojoules. They have matching fuel values. And you know what? I'm going to do this, and guess what's going to happen to benzene? So I'm doing this with benzene, and I'm pretty certain it's not going to be 1 megajoule for very long, is it? Why do I not convert the fuel oil to combustion mixture? Because that is a worse process. Because I don't feel like doing combustion mixture. Obviously, I don't feel like doing the combustion mixture. I wanted to make use of an infrastructure that I already had, right? Because this existed before the fuel oil. This existed before the fuel oil. This existed when natural gas had a fuel value of like 1 megajoule, 1.5 megajoule, something like that. It was crazy, nuts. But before natural gas was nerfed, this existed as it was. Now, this is another gigawatt. this right here, this whole thing is another gigawatt. This is natural gas in its current state of 90 kilojoules making stuff. What did Immortal miss? Nothing! No imbalance is found whatsoever. So you missed me setting up the soil into the iron oxide and the moondrop stuff and the ethylene and the benzene and all that good stuff, realizing that Helmod, in its infinite wisdom, decided that, hey, you have 291.7 tailings, let's convert all of it into coal water slurry fuel instead of only giving you enough benzene for the 1563. Like, really, Helmod? So it's giving me 7188 excess benzene because it wants to consume all of the tailings for some reason. No logical reason to this. It just wants to use all the tailings. Because I have something that uses tailings. Like, okay, we'll use all of them! Rather than limit by the product, it wants to use all of the source. And give you excess product. Oh well. But it does mean that I have excess benzene to use for the steam I need for this build. So I have my source of steam for this build. Because of that. And I won't need to void tailings. Oh, the recipe makes water, but I have that resolved by adding this line in Helmod. I have this line in Helmod, which is the water from offshore pumps, which doesn't screw with anything in all actuality. It prevents stuff getting screwy. Because it scales this water down as other stuff ends up with water as a byproduct. So anyway, we're moving on at this point to other beautiful things. I'm about to move on into the biomass build. That is what I'm doing right now. And this will begin with the 12 limestone soil extractors. Which are consuming less than a thingy. Yep, that's well within regular pipe throughput. Alright, that's that. That produces 8, I think, is what I really need out of this. Let's just do that. And there we go. Limestone! Yay! We have limestone. And then there was sap. So we need a setup of 242 sap, and it ends up producing less than a red belt. Yeah. Uh, and I'm just trying to think in terms of the actual scale here, how big of the width we're going to need. So, like, how wide we are here. How wide we are here. It can use modules. So you can give it speed modules. It is on the agenda that these are going to be updated to look more like the other plants in Alien Life, but that's still being worked out. I think conceptually, how it needs to be done, or how they want to do it. It might just stay the same forever. Who knows? We shall see. 20 by 10. Nah. No, I'm thinking 2 lines of 121. So it'll ultimately come down to how long. I actually need to shift this because alignment is everything. Alignment is absolutely everything. These will output here. Oh my god, I have to remember this is 1-to-1 on the inserters as well, so I would need 200 plus inserters. Okay. And, all of the power poles on the planet. Yeah. Alright. So that's, 20. So that's a few. That is that much on the length. Let's see. What does this do? That brings us all the way out there. It's too bad I don't have any augs on me. And yes, it would be nice if I had actual modules, but, well, gold. But gold. Which would require boron. And yeah, I don't really feel like doing more HCl and refined syngas right now to do the boron for the proton donors. Because that's the only way I'm getting gold at the moment is through particle acceleration, and doing that converts silver into gold at the cost of you have to spend proton donors, which need both crystallographic substrate, which is a rayon sink, as well as the boron to make the donor version. What about enriched biomass? For what? Enriched biomass is a lot of things, but for what? Gold? Can't do it until phytomining stage 3. And it converts novens. And it converts novens. And phytomining stage 3, if I don't have it right now, probably means it is a purple science. Where? It is a purple science, so we can't do anything with gold through phytomining until purple, which, I mean, at that point you can do gold the normal way anyway, because you're at purple. Okay, 80. I need 242. Yeah, that does not evenly divide, does it? Not quite. Not quite. It's 2 extra. 2 extra, because I could do 3 by 80 and have 2 extra. But it all depends on how long I'm going to be. Like, do I want to double this? Not really. Not in particular. So what I think I'll do is I will copy these 80 and paste down like 2 more arrays, and then it's actually pretty simple solution to this. Just grab that and paste it. Ta-da! 242. Done. Done. We're done. I am out of inserters. Clearly. Yeah, just grab whatever else to place things down. So if you want to talk about balance and balance issues, cough, cough. If you want to talk about issues with balance, I mean, do you see? You can probably tell by looking at this factory where there might be a slight imbalance. Ever so slight. I need to restock on stuff now. Oh, it's not cheap, by the way. Besides being slow, it's also incredibly power intensive. Like, the power for these is just huge. It's so much power that gets used. In part because of the slowness, yes. But I think just innately, the consumption is a little high. Because, I mean, look, it's 87.2 megawatts. I'm stuck. Help. Send help, please. Hello! Welcome. I am building a factory incredibly slowly. I am building a meat factory. What will end up being a meat factory. We're not going to finish it today. You have arrived. Congratulations for the last 7 planned minutes of the stream. Grand total of 7 minutes left. 6 minutes now. How much have I done of this? Oh gosh. Good question. So anything tick marked? Yeah, so it's like a huge chunk. 87.2, 188.8, That's a pretty big chunk of the power comes from just the sap, which is a little bonkers. I think sap just needs like a universal times 3 on its speed. Just like the whatever, because it's doing a recipe, right? I would hope it's doing a recipe. Yeah, that recipe needs to have its uh, whatever the heck it's called, consumption time, whatever, reduced by a factor of at least 3. Yeah, because it's too many buildings by comparison. I mean, on a on a building where the only way of upgrading its speed is through modules slash mark level. That yeah, it's a bit off. But anyway, I've got stuff now, right? They've brought me things. So let's head back. Actually, let's grab whatever I've made of more additional sap extractors, because apparently I need all of them ever. I need all of them. It's still not enough. Oh yes, and then we get to the concept of, oh hey, at Mark II it needs 15 circuit 2s each. You know? Just casually 15 circuit 2s per Mark II. Let's also like appreciate the fact that this is 242 Mark II sap extractors for this build on 30 meat. Like, really? You want to talk about things that are nuts? Well, that would be nuts. That would be a thing to consider as nuts. Yeah, sounds interesting. Very much. It's only over 200. It's only 200. Why, yes, it is only 242. I still need 56, 68 more. Which actually, that's pretty good, to be completely honest. Only 68 in the negative. That's fantastic. That is actually pretty awesome. There we go. There's the output of that. And there's the output of that. Success. We can make creamy latex now. Gee, it's as if I have a main bus. Oh boy. How many washers? On this step? 2! Congratulations, you now have creamy latex. In abundance. As much as you shall ever desire. Oh, I never did grab... Oh, I did. Good. Good. I thought I forgot about those. Ta-da! Massive buildings. Say hello to the compost plants. If you've never met these guys before. These are new. I need biomass for lots of stuff. So, off you go. That away. Down. Alright. Yeah, see, I'm sure there are a lot of people who are in that same situation where they want to finish off They want to finish off the current playthroughs before starting Alien Life, which is why I have not changed my Productive Pinedons mod to be to require Alien Life. Nor do I plan to change that. This is exactly why. Pie Sweet takes a very long time, and I'm sure there are still plenty of people not on Alien Life yet. Some will probably never go to Alien Life. That's another point. It's like, okay, here's the factory. Right? Here's the factory. We are at Blue Science. Here's max zoom, right? We are pretty close to max zoom to see this factory. But anyway, it is technically that time. I've done this thing now. I've done this and this. And I've technically done this as well. So, what did we get done today? In our 3 hours playing through and planning of the meat factory. What actually got done on this day? We got this much done in 3 hours after doing the initial planning. So a lot of time was spent actually coming up with the plan for this particular factory. More time was spent going over the fact that actually just doing the basic moss into biomass is seemingly a bit better. At the very least, it's half the power of the creamy latex build. It's fewer buildings and half the power. So, that's pretty obviously better. And then we also looked at phytoplankton through flue gas and looping biomass into flue gas, and that was even better still at half the power of the moss on the basic moss recipe. So it's like, oh, we went down into the 2 megawatt range, and then we go down into the 1.1 megawatt range, and then decided, oh hey, maybe this is actually a little bit too good on some of this stuff. Maybe all 3 need to be nerfed in some way, because they're all really good. They're all actually really good on producing biomass. All 3 methods. I just have chosen to do the creamy latex because it's just, this build of 240 plus, it's just plus 7 to do the creamy latex. I'm going to need a build of over 200 anyway of this, so let's just do plus 7 and do the creamy latex. And plus whatever 1 or 2 on the limestone. And put 2 of these washers. Done. Did I consider wood biomass? No. Never did I consider wood biomass. I have not done this thing. We shall see how it goes towards the end. I may as well put a check mark on the wood, right? What? Alright, well, Hellmod has an issue. Hey, I found a bug in Hellmod. Attempt to index field ? A nil value on the water here. Okay, I guess I'm not tick marking that. But yeah, so what is left on this build? Actually, I'll sort of go over what we have done today. Built the train station. Train station has bedding, cages, moondrop, and iron. Built soil that is being stacked and then unstacked to make sand. The sand is being classified to get particularly iron oxide. The gravel and the crushed quartz that this will produce will be voided. I still need to build the voiding line. I then have Moondrop for making methane. I will have the methane and the sum of the iron oxide producing ethylene. And I will have the tailings from the sand producing cold water slurry fuel that will be producing benzene in excess. The benzene and the ethylene and the remaining amounts of iron oxide will produce plastic. Of course, I'm using benzene, excess benzene, to produce the steam for this process. And that's plastic for food that will come later. Then have a nice line of the limestone and a few of the sap extractors for producing biomass in the end. It produces creamy latex and then biomass from the creamy latex. Next time we meet will be the rest of the moss build, because this is actually just for moss. I will be putting down the high pressure furnace to make the CO2, thus why I needed this biomass first. Also the automated factory to do the iron sticks, and the sand extractors to take the sticks and make coarse fraction out of them. I will combine coarse fraction with some of the limestone. I think I don't need the limestone after this, so that is the rest of the limestone, making moss. 31.26 moss. Let's keep that in mind. So I will need 2 belts because I cannot currently stack moss. I do not have a stacked moss recipe. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting logistical challenge. That will go up into the food in the end. I then also need to do the Faugi build. I have to build out the Faugi as well as the seaweed. Oh, this will be actually the rest of the limestone. So I do need to continue and send the remaining limestone down for the seaweed, clearly. That'll be the food. The food with the remaining moss and all of the sap, as well as bedding and cages, will make cage dogs, and they will be slaughtered into 30 meat per second. That's the plan. I will hopefully be able to finish that up in the next stream, and then we get to plan out. I wanna do the guts factory next, right after the meat. So meat first, then guts, then whatever, bones, I guess, and brains, and whatever else, skin, I guess. We could have factories for all of these separate things and figure out where to go from there. But at the very least, I need the meat and the guts. So, yes. And eventually, yes, we need to do the bees. We need to do archods at some point as well. I have bone meal. Bone meal is taken care of. Let's not forget that I have the bone meal already. That is the one thing I already have, is the bone meal. But yes, lard and special products, of course, will be required. But anyway, with that, folks, here's the base again. I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you have enjoyed and are watching the VODs on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you're so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/OtakuShowboat to leave a follow to be notified when I go live Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can do all of the social stuff through the links below the video, including supporting Pyadon's mod development at patreon.com/Pyadon and myself at patreon.com/OtakuShowboat. I will, of course, be back on Tuesday, where we will ideally finish this particular build. It really does depend on how many buildings that I need that have been made yet. So it might be that I don't have enough buildings made yet. We shall find out. But I can see finishing this in the next stream. I hope to see you all then.